If you think you're just gonna come to Atlanta, open up a salon, hire a huge staff, start selling $200 bundles, that may not happen the way you think it's gonna happen. That may have worked in 2010, but the way the hair industry is changing day by day, you're gonna have to come at it at a different angle with a different strategy. My name is Easy Breezy. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and the owner of Galaxy Girl Hair. I've made well over 6 figures through selling my own product line, sponsorship deals, and ad revenue from YouTube. And I teach influencers and entrepreneurs in the beauty industry how to create streams of passive income using content, digital products, physical products, and sponsorships. In this video, we are talking about how much the hair industry has changed over the years. The hair and beauty industry is forever changing, and it's changing fast. Like, there are new trends and new ways of doing things literally every single year. And if you're not keeping up with these changes, then you could be leaving thousands, if not millions of dollars on the table. So the needs and the wants of clients are changing. The needs and the wants of hairstylists are changing. And when we can adjust and we can, pivot to these new desires and these new needs and these new wants, then we can be able to accommodate everyone and still be able to maximize the amount of money that we make in this industry. All right. So for salon owners, we're going to talk about salons first. Back in the day, commission-based hair salons were popular. So a commission-based hair salon is a hair salon with a big popular brand that has a specific system of how they do things. They have a specific system of how they service their clients, how they use their products. They have their own line of products, and the stylists that work under the brand has to do things the way that company teaches them how to do it. Right? And they have to use that company's products on all of their clients. And the stylists are technically not allowed to give out their personal information to the clients because those clients belong to the brand. So back in the day, this hair salon structure was a lot more popular, and stylists were happy to join a salon home and, earn commissions off the salon's clientele. But nowadays, the industry is changing. Okay. And hairstylists are a lot more independent than they were. And it's a lot easier to make money in this industry than it was back in the day. Now, back then, you had to have your cosmetology license. It's like you had to have it just to work. But as time goes on, there are loopholes in the rules, and you can still be able to do hair without a license as long as you're not washing hair or using chemicals. So, for example, braiders are able to service clients in a public salon without getting a penalty for not having a license because they're not using chemicals, right? And also, other hairstylists find loopholes to be able to work without a license by doing natural hair or by doing weaves. And as long as they stay away from washing hair, doing color, or doing chemical relaxers or perms and things like that, then they can get away with, working in a salon without being penalized if state board comes in and sweeps the whole salon. So it is a lot easier for hairstylists to make money in this industry without having a license. Now, in my opinion, and once again, I am a licensed hairstylist, I feel like it's very important to get your license because what I learned in hair school was, number one, customer service. Customer service. I learned that in hair school. When you are in hair school, you spend a couple months doing book work, and then when you're done with all of your tests, then you get to go on the floor. And when you're on the floor, you get to service clients, real life clients. And that's where you get your experience in the field, right? So in that environment, it's basically a replica of a salon environment. And it's just as busy as a salon. It's just as hectic. You have problematic clients. It's like literally everything that you would experience in a regular salon, but you're in training. And in that hair school experience, I learned how to deal with clients. I learned how to deal with negotiating. I learned how to deal with girls not having all their money. I learned how to deal with angry, unsatisfied clients. I learned how to deal with customers with a wide range of issues. I wouldn't know how to talk to a client, how to deal with a client properly if it wasn't for a hair school. Also, hair school teaches you how to be sanitary and how to keep your tools and your products clean so that you don't pass on bacteria from client to client. In hair school, we had to clean our stations and our chairs before every single client. We had to disinfect our combs, our brushes before every single client. And they did not play about that. Okay? They did not play about that. So leaving hair school, I developed a habit of always keeping my area clean. I always kept my suites clean. I always swept and wiped everything down before I left. And before my clients came in the next morning, my shop always smelled good. Everything was clean. Everything was shiny and polished. And that's just how I was trained in hair school. And also, you have a lengthy anatomy class when you go to cosmetology school. So you're able to identify lesions in the scalp, certain type of derma, whatever's, things that are going on with the scalp that could possibly be passed on to other clients. And if you can't detect that, or if you say yes to every client, you may put in your next client at risk. So hair school also teaches you how to deny certain clients. And instead of going to a hair salon, honey, you may need to take your ass to a dermatologist or a doctor, okay? You may need to take antibiotics to get the fungus from your scalp cleared, or certain psoriasis or whatever it is that can be passed on to another client. Now, I don't know if psoriasis can be passed on to another client, but I know there are certain funguses and bacteria that can. Okay, so hair school teaches you the anatomy of the human body. It teaches you how to perform services where you never injure people, and how you can keep your clients safe and comfortable. Another thing that hair school taught me is how to properly cut and color. Now, cutting natural hair versus cutting weave is completely different. Coloring natural hair versus coloring weave is completely different. And if it was not for hair school, I probably would not know how to properly cut layers in natural hair, or weave for that matter, how to do even cuts, how to cut bobs. I wouldn't know my angles. I just wouldn't know the foundation of cutting. I wouldn't know the foundation of coloring. I would not be aware of the color wheel. I would not be aware of how to cancel out gold tones, how to cancel out reds. I wouldn't know. So hair school teaches you a lot of fundamentals when it comes to hair, when it comes to cutting, when it comes to coloring, disinfecting, dealing with clients. And it also teaches you just how to have that tenacity in the hair salon. When I was in hair school, we only had two 15-minute breaks, and we were there from morning to night. So it wasn't an environment where we can constantly walk out the salon and take smoke breaks or be on our phone. It wasn't that type of environment. It was a strict professional environment. So I carried on those habits when I left hair school. I would be in my salon with my stylist, and I literally would not take a break until everyone is out the building. I would not take any lunch breaks. I definitely won't take any smoke breaks. I won't be on my phone. I would literally service clients from the first client to the very last girl, and that's just how I worked. And I already know a lot of my stylists probably hated me for that because they were probably like, this girl do not sit down. Like, do this girl sit down? Can we take a break? Damn. So I understand. I have like the work ethic of like how Beyonce's team and employees and her squad says that she has. The girl don't take breaks. The girl don't sleep. Okay, she stops working when the whole job is done. And that's how I learned how to work in hair school. Hair school teaches hairstylists a lot about just having integrity as a hairstylist. And without experiencing that, you may lack certain professional tendencies. You may just lack certain things that licensed hairstylists earned in that environment. Back to the salon life. Stylists are more independent now, and it's a lot easier to get in the industry without a hair license. So instead of offering a commission-based salon, it's better to offer booth rent and offer suites. That way, girls can be their own boss and girls can build their own brand. And girls building brands is what they're interested in nowadays. A lot of girls are not interested in joining a higher, brand unless they're just going there to learn or they're going there to build their clientele, even though they're not supposed to. But, realistically, a lot of girls go to those popular salons so they can learn, they can network, they can, learn skills from other hairstylists, because a lot of my skills I also learned from watching other hairstylists, right? So you can learn a lot just by being next to a hairstylist, like y'all's booths being right next to each other, and that stylist is just bomb. She's just good. I mean, she can just cut good. She can curl good. And you being right next to her, you take on those skills and you absorb, her skills, and you start to replicate that on your clients. So instead of running a commission-based salon for girls that do weave in particular, now I don't recommend this for all types of services in the hair industry. For natural hair salons, for locks, for lashes, for skin services, I still do feel like commission-based, the commission-based structure will work for that. But specifically for girls that do wigs, weaves, and like hairstylists, they want their own suites. They want their own brands. So commission-based, salons are kind of like a thing of the past for the hair industry in particular. So the future is suites, salon suites. So number 2, when it comes to selling hair, back in 2010, you could sell one bundle for $200. You can sell a 14-inch bundle of virgin hair for $250 because it was scarce back then. We didn't know where to find it. Virgin hair was like a hot commodity back in the day. But as time went by, hair companies, Chinese hair companies are finding ways to create virgin hair at the same or lesser quality, but a doable quality for a lot less money. A 14-inch virgin hair bundle back in the day might have been $200. Now you can find a 14-inch bundle on Amazon for probably like $25. It can still curl, it can still color. Okay, so it's getting crazy out here. But the thing is, you have to adjust, right? So instead of thinking that you can sell hair at these wild, crazy expensive prices, you can still make a profit, but you just have to continue to search for vendors, continue to test hair to make sure that it's good, make sure that it doesn't melt when you put bleach on it, make sure it doesn't melt when you put the flat iron on it or the flat iron or the hair curler on it. Make sure it's a decent quality, and you can still make about $50 profit per bundle if you find a cheaper vendor, and you can still keep your prices very competitive. All right. So let's say you find a 14-inch bundle for $25 on AliExpress or Amazon. You tested the vendor. It's good. You know, you tried it on yourself. You tried it in a few different installs. It lasted. And you're like, okay, you know what? I feel comfortable selling this one. And it's only $25. So you're able to sell those bundles at $75 for a 14-inch, and you can still make as much money or as much profit as you would have made back in 2011 just because you found a cheap price for the product. So as a hair vendor, a hairstylist that sells hair, you have to constantly search for vendors. Me as a hairstylist, as a product line owner, and as a girl that sells hair and wigs and have been selling hair and wigs since 2014, I am always testing vendors. I am always searching for new vendors. Even for my products, my hair glue, my edge controls, my lace tint foams, I'm always looking for better quality products for cheaper prices, right? So, yeah, you have to just keep on looking. Now, with one of my vendors, I never change it. I never ever change it because it's the original Galaxy Girl vendor. Like the hair that I've been selling for since like 2000, I think like 16, I found this vendor and it has never failed me. I have loyal clients that love that hair. I never changed that vendor. But now I just offer different qualities of hair that are cheaper for girls that are on, you know, more of a tighter budget, but it's still doable. It still works. Right? So I'm always looking for new vendors. I'm always looking for cheaper prices. I'm always testing new hair and new wigs to make sure that it's a decent quality. So you have to adjust to the pricing, the supply and demand of hair nowadays. You know, girls are switching their hair up. They're not keeping bundles for multiple installs like they used to. A lot of girls are buying a wig, having it for maybe 2 installs, throwing it out, and then buying a whole nother wig. A lot of girls are buying wigs every single install. I have a client that buys a new wig every single install. Okay? So she doesn't want a $400 wig. She wants a wig around, $150 so she can continue to change her hair without breaking her pockets. So you just have to understand your clients. You have to understand what girls are looking for nowadays. And also let your clients know that if you are selling cheaper products, that they're not going to be able to keep that hair for years. Let's be real. You're not going to be able to keep a $80 26-inch unit for more than maybe 3 or 4 installs. And that's just something that you have to let your clients know. You have to let your clients know that you have to warn your clients so that they don't think that you're trying to gyp them, right? So be transparent. Make sure you're being honest with your clientele. Let them know that you have a more expensive, higher quality hair, and you have a cheaper hair that you can use for quick weaves or use for like maybe 1 or 2 installs, and then you throw it out and then you buy more hair. So yes, you guys, the hair industry is forever changing. Clients are wanting different things. Hairstylists are needing different things. But as long as you're able to pivot and maneuver according to the wants and needs of the industry, you can still make money, you can still maximize, and you can still be very successful in this industry. All right. So if you are not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. Turn on your notification and stay tuned. I have an invitation strictly for you. It's easier right now than ever before in history to make money online doing what you already do. You already take your own clients, you already do your own hair and makeup, you already post, but now it's time to leverage all of that. I'm inviting you to the Feminine Beast Mode community where I'll give you my strategies on leveling up your brand and your content and funneling your audience to an actual product. If you don't have your own product yet, it's okay. We'll help you create your own product line or your first ebook or digital course. So this private community is going to gain unlimited access to all of my learning courses, saving you thousands of dollars, and weekly coaching calls from me. Click the link below to join the community today, and I'll see y'all at the next private coaching call this Wednesday.